What's up, y'all? It's Boxing Mind TV with another video. Like, comment, subscribe as you watch this video. With that said, let's get straight to it. My post-fight reaction to the Canelo versus Callum Smith fight is basically, Canelo did what he usually do, and he pressed the attack, and Callum Smith couldn't do nothing with him. Callum Smith um, threw a lot of shots but couldn't land them. Canelo was very, very good with his defense. Callum Smith couldn't use his length and height against Canelo because Canelo was just making a miss, and he was very good with his distance and getting in and getting out of danger, and he was able to capitalize on that by hitting Callum Smith with more effective shots, to the body, to the head. His jab was very good, and he was very quick. Canelo was very, very quick, and I believe Canelo's stamina issues, I believe he's fixed them over time, over the years. I don't feel like he's getting tired and slowing down. He's still very defensively responsible in the ring throughout the whole fight, throughout the whole 12 rounds. He didn't really get hit with anything flush. If he did get hit, or when he did get hit, he kind of limit the effect on it, because he would move his face at the time Caleb is landing a shot on him. He'll move his face, which kind of like deflects the impact a little bit, and Canelo left the ring with a clean face, like he wasn't in the fight, but Callum Smith left with bumps and bruises. His fucking arm, I think it was his left arm, was like, I ain't never seen nothing like it. Like, his arm was very like lumped and bruised or something. Like, it was swollen. His left arm was swollen, and they said Eddie Hearn said like he might have tore his bicep or something, detached his bicep in some type of way. But Canelo really put some damage onto Callum Smith throughout the rounds. He just kept the pressure on him the whole fight, and kept pressuring him, making him miss. Even though he was making him miss, Callum Smith didn't really get discouraged with throwing punches. But you could see as the fight went on that Canelo's really putting in work on Callum Smith's body and face. You can see it was hurting them. You see, it was hurting Callum Smith after a while. But he stayed in there. He didn't quit. Kudos to Callum Smith for not quitting, and he just stayed in there and gave it his best shot. But it just wasn't enough. He couldn't land nothing on Canelo to push Canelo back. Canelo made him work. Basically, I feel like he made him work more than Canelo. Canelo made him work more in the ring than Canelo himself working, because he put the pressure on him, and as he put the pressure on him, Callum Smith was missing the shots that he wanted to land on Canelo. Canelo was seeing them miles away and dodging them, ducking them, and then hitting them to the body. Left hooks, jabs, right hands. Then he'll pivot when they get in on the ropes. He'll pivot to the left and hit him with a uppercut, and a right hand, left hook. He was just more. He was a quicker fighter, and he had the better defense out of the two, and he dominated that fight. I thought, watching the fight in the beginning, I was like, well, seeing how Callum Smith was throwing the jab and throwing it, and from the first round, and I feel like, maybe he may be able to use his height and length advantage against Canelo, but Canelo just started pressing the attack and moving in and having to miss, going under his punches and throwing his jabs and landing. And from that point, Canelo just dominated. He just dominated for real, because You have to score. Even though I think Callum Smith was throwing a lot more punches, but he wasn't landing nothing. He wasn't landing nothing cleanly. He was missing a lot, and you have to score that. You have to score that. You know what I'm saying? That's real good. You throwing all these punches, but you're not landing a high percentage of the punches. And Canelo's landed the more effective punches, the more harder punches, and he's doing more damage. So you have to get that to Canelo, and he was blocking a lot of punches, man. Canelo's defense is really tight, really tight. He really got great at that, actually. Really got great at the defense, and I think Canelo's gonna be hard to beat for anybody to beat him, because I feel like his stamina issues have gotten better. He hasn't I haven't seen him like really get tired. This fight, I didn't see him really get tired. Even though he took a couple breaths and stuff, deep breaths, but his work rate stayed the same. You know, his defense was still tight. He was still disciplined, you know, and he was still doing what he usually do, and throwing the punches and dodging the punches. From round 1 to round 12, he was still effective. And looking at Canelo, he looked more ripped than he usually is to me. From what I remember, he just looked more ripped, and he looked more solid and strong. And his movement is great. You know, I think Callum Smith didn't have the right game plan, or didn't have the assets to compete with Canelo, because he doesn't really move around the ring. I think a lot of Canelo tough fights is with fighters that can move around the ring very well and counter, and also it can make Canelo back up a little bit, you know, make him miss a little bit, and counter him a little bit, and that would have Canelo thinking. You know, I don't think Canelo had to really think in there against Callum Smith. Callum Smith, they had all the skills and talent to compete with Canelo. You know, Canelo just walked him down the whole fight, made him work, made him tired, mentally tired, at kind of, you know, tested his heart, you know. But kudos to Callum Smith. He was ready. He was able to you know, last the whole fight, but he was getting beat down the whole fight. You know, he wasn't landing no effective punches, and he was getting bruised up. And like I said, his arm is like, I don't know what the hell Canelo hit him with, but his arm is like, he may be out for a while. 'Cause I ain't never seen no arm swollen like that, you know. But we'll see. You know, now Canelo is a 4-time division champion. You know, no matter who he fought, you know, we don't like who he fought, like Rocky Fielding or whatnot. But you know, when it's all said and done, they'll say, you know, he was a 4-time division champion. You know, but the hardcore fans know who he fought and who he didn't fight. But hopefully, you know, he can fight some more great fighters and show his greatness. But Canelo's he's really good. He's really gotten better as far as, especially his defense. If anything, I think his defense is what is really you know, grown. You know, his defense is really grown. He's getting better. Like, you can't really touch him, you know. You can't really touch him. He's blocking everything. He's seeing everything. He's really tight on that. He's really great on that. Like, his defense is on point. Is on point. You can't touch him. Can't hit him with nothing clean. And doing that, you know, discourages the fighter throughout the fight, as the fight continues to go. Discourages the fighter, and especially if Canelo is landing his punches at will, and whenever his opponent like Callum Smith throws, he can't land none of his hard punches at Canelo. You know, he couldn't get no get back at Canelo whenever Canelo would land a hard punch on him. So we'll have to see, you know, who Canelo faces, but it was just a good dominant fight. You know, he dominated the fight, made him miss. He was a faster fighter, and he was strong. He was very strong. He stayed in the pocket. He was ready to block all the punches, dodge him. Canelo Canelo looked really, really good. He looked really good and performing that night, and he did what he had to do. You know, I'm just waiting to see what else he does, and we'll go from there. Hopefully, he fights Jamal Charlo or Billy Joe Saunders. I really want him to fight Caleb Plant. So if he's gonna stay at 168, I want to fight Caleb Plant instead of Billy Joe Saunders. I like Caleb Plant a lot, but I'm hearing that he might fight Jose Benavidez. That'd be a good fight, but I don't know. Benavidez will be able to beat him. Benavidez he's strong and he has fast hands too. But like I say, I feel like you have to have a little bit mobility to beat Canelo. But it's possible though, because Jamal Charlo doesn't use his feet that much either. But he's very strong and has good boxing ability. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, what he chooses. And because he has like 3 divisions he can go up and down in. He has 168, the 160, and the 175. So Canelo is basically do whatever he wants to do. He's controlling boxing right now, or controlling that part of boxing. Those weight classes, he could do whatever. He's the man. Everybody wants to fight him. So we'll see what he do. But that's my review. That's my reaction to the fight from last night. Y'all can like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. It's Boxing Mind TV, and I'm out.